the same way? Okay, I have no idea to look. It's Christine. Let's see if I can find Sheena, and then we'll get started. I think I did this right. I look so much better in. Oh, there you go. Sure, I got my volume up. Sheena, are you there?
Hey, can you
I'm
see
telling
me?
you, I look so I look so much cuter.
When it's
Portrait.
upright, I know. Yeah, I can.
I was like, I look so much cuter.
Girl, I
About this
feel you.
horizontal. You look cute, and I like your.
Thank
Do you
you.
miss your?
You look cute. I like your blue background.
Thank you. You know I'm Pisces. You like water,
Oh
blue.
yeah, yeah.
So like blue shirts. I look like I planned this, but I didn't.
So how do
But
I
it's
like
like,
share this on my wall or whatever?
hmm, how do we share this? Let me see the
Have
options
friends.
are.
Oh wait, share it with them. Hold on. Facebook got me covered. Have friends who should see this video. Share it with them so they can watch it too. I'm trying to.
I
Oh, share.
I wish I could share this with like my page.
Share with
Hold on.
friends. Share with public. Done. Okay,
We
now I'm
like.
posting. I just posted it, I think.
How did you do that?
There's a shared. Oh, shoot. Why is it?
Oh crap! I think
Girl,
I just did something with the filter. We like two old women who can't figure out electronics.
seriously, we're on struggle bus right now.
Guess a lot. I don't know what I did. Anyhow, I guess we'll just get to it. I'll have to share this later. And I was trying to share with my page because I have like a page. Did you just?
Hold
Did
on.
you just?
We're on struggle bus. I hear, I hear it like looping. You know what I'm saying? Oh no.
Oh, I don't hear you one time.
Hold up.
Look, and now is my battery about to die? Hold on. I've been on the
Hello.
phone talking all day, and I'm like, should have charged my phone.
Charge your
Okay.
phone.
Anyhow, we're gonna get this
Okay.
thing
I
started.
think we're good now. Woo!
Can you share though?
I think I
Man, I
did.
wish I would have shared this with my. Can you probably don't even like my business page? Like, could you share it with my business page?
Let me
Where
see
is
if
this?
I can. But the last time I did that, it was like looping, and I was hearing what we just said, and it was
Oh,
very.
well, let me see.
I
Okay.
think
Anyhow, I was asking before we get started. Do you miss your locks? How do you feel being lock free?
I feel free. That's the key word. Like,
Really?
yeah, girl. And I've had a lot of conversations. I know this isn't going to turn to a hair conversation, but I've had a lot of conversations about how women, black women in particular, feel about their hair. And it's so individualized. Like some black women feel powerful with rocking a big fro. That's how they feel sexy and beautiful and empowered. And some feel empowered with straight hair, some with locks, some with curly hair. And my locks didn't do it for me. Not for a
Mm,
while now. They didn't do it for me. So now I get to play around and see what does do it for me. And that's exciting. That's all I can say.
hold on. Babe, can you? I'm on live right now. Can you share it with my business page? Okay, can I pass to my computer? I'm trying to share this with my business page because I sent out an email to my list.
I
And
think
now I feel like I thought advertised because if they can't see it, that would be messed up. Thank you. You're the best.
I don't
I
know if
can't
this is
smell the
on my page. How can you tell if it's on? Oh, girl. I've never done
It
this
should be on
before.
because you're on. So the minute you okay, I'm gonna stop moving. The minute you go live, it's on your page.
Okay.
Anyhow, hold on. I am looking on my computer right now. All right. So anyhow, Sheena,
That's
I'm
fun.
Christine Ruiz. I think it's obvious. I'm Christine Ruiz, um, of ChristineDeco.com. That's my site. But I want you to introduce yourself.
So I'm Sheena Willis. That's spelled Siegna. Um, I am hey Lance. Thanks for watching. I
I
am. What'd you say?
I can't see anyone.
Oh, I can see people popping up. Who's watching? Okay. So I am a licensed associate professional counselor working towards my full licensure of LPC. And I thought of this topic because I do love to travel, and I do. About a year ago, I came out on Facebook with my personal mental health journey. I am in recovery from mental illness, and so this topic is near and dear to my heart: travel, mental health, and healing. Because there was a time that I used travel to kind of escape from my humdrum, issues and problems, but you can't, right? We all know wherever you go, there you are. So, just taking this recent trip to Ghana, having already done so much work and healing at home in my everyday, day-to-day life, I was no longer looking to escape, but just explore, as you so beautifully put on your little ad there, Christine. Yeah, that's pretty much what we wanted to talk about today. Hey, Sana. Hey, Boo.
Is that Sonya from Duluth?
From high school, yeah.
Hey, Sonya. Yeah, I don't know. It's because I started, like, I can't see who's on. So
Really?
when people tell them, as you get on, if you're watching, say hi. Maybe I'll see that they write a comment or something. Okay, I just see Tammy's on. Yeah, if you guys get on, feel free to say hi. If you have a question, if something resonates with you, you've experienced something, or maybe you know someone or close to someone who is dealing with. I didn't know if it was okay to say mental illness. I said mental health because I feel like I didn't know. But if you know someone who might be dealing with it or can possibly gain something from the conversation, feel free to share it with them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and it's funny because I didn't realize until we were talking, but it basically been, like you said, a year since you wrote that post, and it was so weird because I read it and I was like, she just described the perspective of something I experienced with you from the outside looking in. So it was like, I felt free when you wrote it because I was like, okay, we can talk about this.
Like, it's time. Now's the time. Like, it's not a secret. Yeah.
So it kind of like we can talk about this. So I guess, do you want to? The whole topic obviously is before travel. So do you want to kind of talk about just what you were going through in traveling and what you were doing?
Yeah, so I guess to kind of piggyback on the first thing you were talking about, which was my mental health journey that I came out with a year ago, and just kind of described really for the purposes of telling people that they're not alone. You never know what people are going through, and that there is hope for people struggling with mental illness. So I was diagnosed with bipolar, did that whole thing. You can go back and read the article or the story. I won't get into that. But basically, the funny thing is, after I wrote that article, it had like a happy ending, like I wound up going to grad school and getting my master's in counseling and giving back. It had this nice little bow on it. Hey, I don't know who that is. Sounds from one of your folks. So I had this nice little bow on it, like happy ending. But the truth is, y'all, and those of you dealing with mental illness, or those of you who have a family member dealing with mental illness, know it doesn't end with a nice, pretty bow. Like, there's work to be done, and it is a journey. It's called recovery for a reason. it doesn't just end there and then everything's fine and everything's perfect and you live this normal life. I was still dealing with a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety in the years following kind of where that article ended. So just really, really bad. I was kind of in this really dark place, and when you're in a dark place, you kind of daydream a lot, about a different life for yourself, and that's where travel came in. Now, don't get me wrong. Growing up, my grandmother was a traveler. She would take me with her to different places. So I have travel in my blood. It's not like the only reason I want to travel is to escape, but that was a major reason, and so I just started like kind of daydreaming of my life being completely different. I want to go around the world in 3 months and do this round the world trip. I'm going to save up all this money and quit my job. Like all these kind of thoughts, anything to escape the reality of my life at the time. And again, this isn't everybody. This isn't to say that everybody who does that is doing it for that reason. I'm speaking from my perspective. Traveling is an absolutely beautiful thing, and we'll get more into that, as well, how it can be very healing and revealing, as far as who you are as a person, and it's a very beautiful thing. But anyway, at the time, I was just looking to escape. So I took my first international trip solo by myself. In 2012, I went to Thailand, and like I said, there is no 100% black or white with these things. It was a great trip, but at the same time, I was still struggling with so much depression and anxiety. You see the pictures, and this goes for everybody. Don't let social media fool you guys. Like, you see these pictures of these people, and thank God for the ones who are honest and transparent, like I'm trying to do here today. But, rarely do people show you, when they're crying in their hotel room or when they got their wallet stolen or something and got held up at gunpoint. There's just like low parts of travel. But
did that happen?
No, it never happened to me, thank God. Oh. Thank God. But anyway, in Thailand, I was having this great, fabulous adventure, but I was also very anxiety ridden. Like and just because I went off to a fabulous country did not negate that. I was like that at home, and I was like that in Thailand. Like, duh, you would think that, right? But for some reason, you think, these trips are gonna just magically change who you are. No, boo. I was a hot mess at times in Thailand. So, and I can go on down the list of my trips. But do you have anything you want to interject with?
I think, like you said, it's a good point. If you're dealing with certain issues at home, they're not going to go away just because your external environment changes. It's kind of like whatever's going on internally is going to be consistent wherever you are. And like you said, wherever you are, there you are, right? I think, did you go on a certain number of trips before you were like, okay, I really need to work on me or get back on track with healing? And then, like, did you feel that way during a trip? Were you home when you realized it? Kind of, what was the change or the shift for you?
My last trip before this recent trip, so before Ghana, when I was in India, was when I was like, oh no, I have to stop and pause. Like, after this, I need to just pause and really do some self-reflecting, get myself together. India was in 2015, and when I tell you, that was kind of like the, what do you want to call it, like the pinnacle of my anxiety-ridden trip. Like, it was a beautiful experience, but yet I couldn't get out of my head. I was crying in my hotel room every night.
I was going to say, when you say anxiety-ridden, like, what was happening?
So, just in my head, like, what does this person think? What is that person thinking? I should be having more fun. Why am I not having more fun? What can I do? Like, if anybody's ever suffered from anxiety, which I'm sure like everybody has to a degree. But if you really, really suffered bad from it, you know that there's this constant dialogue in your head that won't let you live. Like you can't just live. Like it was painful. It was painful. And every night I was coming back crying and journaling. Oh my God, if I could get my journal from, if I had it with me and could read some of the excerpts, it was dark. It was bad. And I was just like, I'm in this amazing experience with some amazing people, and I can't even just chill and soak it in. And I was really hard on myself and all that. And after that, I was like, okay, Sheena, no more trips for a while. Like, you need to focus on your healing. And again, I wouldn't take back any of these trips. I learned a lot about myself doing all of them, but there is something to be said about doing the work on yourself at home and then going out to explore. You get so much more out of it. Like this last trip to Ghana, I was in a good place and I got so much out of it. You know, I really got to live it up. And so when you see me smiling on those pictures, it's genuine. It's not a forced, fake smile.
So you know I'm about to go back to your Facebook page and look at your album.
Go ahead, boo. I'm about to do a whole post on this whole thing on my Sheena Speaks Instagram and on Facebook, just about, don't live vicariously through others too much, because you really don't know what they're going through when they post those pictures. And we always,
I want to look, because it's kind of like, I remember one time I had first moved from Georgia, and I was with a bunch of my sororities, my line sisters, and we posted a picture that night. And one of my cousins, Sylvia, I don't know if she's watching or will watch this later, she was like, she sent me a message in my inbox and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she was like, "Your face is smiling, but your eyes look sad." And before we took that picture, so when I first moved out, I had to obviously secure a home so that I could enroll Ava in school. So she stayed back in Georgia with my mom, and every other weekend I would drive back to Georgia from New York.
Woo!
Just so I could see her. And what happened was that night, my sister Kayla was in town. She was there for the whole week, so I was actually staying with her, because I was like technically homeless when I first moved here. I was couch hopping, but I was smiling at pictures, and I actually was happy. I was like the happiest homeless person, right? So, because I always have like everything lined up for me. But yeah, so I was staying with Kayla, and then Obi and Tasha were in town for the weekend. We were all eating, and my mom called, because normally I would always tell Ava good night, and she was just crying, and she was like, "Mom, I miss you so much, and I can't take it." And I was on my heart. I was just like, "Oh my God." So I was upset because I was trying to talk to Ava and get her to calm down and go to sleep. And so it was just crazy, because how you say people can be smiling in pictures, but what are they really feeling? Needless to say, we didn't get finished hanging out until like 3 in the morning. 3 a.m. By 12 p.m. that same day, I had went to Jersey to get my car from my aunt's house, and I drove to Georgia, made it to Ava, my mom's house, around like 1:30 in the morning, because I can drive to Georgia fast. I don't stop. I stopped to get gas.
Play.
Tea. So it was like 1:30 when I got to Ava. My mom's got in the bed. She woke up. She was like, "Is this a dream?" Because she was short, and it wasn't my weekend to come. And I spent the day with her, and by 6 p.m. that same day, so mind you, I got there at 1:30. 6 p.m. I had to drive back, so I had to work on Monday in New York. I did that because I was like, my daughter needs me. I got to be there. You know what I mean? But it made me think of that, because, like you said, you can smile, but that smile doesn't. You got to look at people's eyes, and I guess you got to know. But it's like I'm curious. Looking back at your picture, would I be able to tell? And how often? And honestly, it's just more of a notice of, we have to be, as people and friends, be more aware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just kind of, because where you got a news feed and you can just scroll and scroll and scroll
Mm-hmm.
and you can glance at. But how often are we really taking the time to reach out to people,
Mm-hmm.
to talk to people, to see people and connect with them?
Mm-hmm.
Because you were traveling and going to India and this place and that place.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, you smile your pictures, but as friends, were we not there for you to kind of see that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it really kind of makes me think of. It's almost like a self-check. Like, Dad, I'm about to go to your pictures and see. Can I tell the difference between Sheena and Ghana? Because you was looking happy.
I was. I really was. And I can tell. And hey, Angie, thanks for joining. My cousin Ange. Hey. I can tell. Like, my eyes look sad. And it's so funny you say it's in the eyes. It is in the eyes. The eyes look sad to me. And I have to take some onus on, presenting putting my best foot forward, so to speak, in those days as well, and not really being transparent about my struggle. Not that I have to. Nobody has to share everything with everybody. But it's something that really means a lot to me now, to go back and kind of tell the story and shed some light to this, because I think travel is so big now, especially in the Black community. Like, everybody want to do it for the gram, everybody. And
travel
noir, and like, I gotta look cute and let me, get this picture in front of this monument or whatever and just ball out, but are you paying your bills on time? Like, are your priorities where they need to be? I don't know. It's just,
and emotionally and mentally and always where you need to be.
Yeah.
But I almost think that could also be scary if you are dealing with something and you literally leave the country where your family and friends don't have immediate access to get to you and help you.
Girl.
That's kind of
Girl, you are right about that. I was scared for myself in India a little bit. Like, what? Am I having a breakdown? Like, I'm literally crying every single night. It wasn't like a psychotic break where I felt like I needed to be hospitalized, but just, it was just, so that's a great point. That's a really great point. Yeah.
But no, I like I said when we were talking the other day, and I was like, well, let's just go live. I also wanted to do this because I go live and literally talk about anything on my page. I mean, that's always got a purpose or a point, but
yes.
I think once again to build lessen the stigma when it comes to mental health or mental illness, because pretty much everyone's got a level of crazy, a level of, but to kind of lessen that stigma, get people to talk about it more and people to think about it. Just like I said, the idea of when you see people traveling and stuff, like, are they traveling because they're like really, like Oprah said, living their best life, or they're curious, or is it to a point where they're trying to escape themselves and trying to escape their own problems? And just making sure to reach out to people, because I like with my cousin Todd, like, he travels, he's really into scuba diving and stuff. Even him, I was like, Todd, you all right?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not always a thing. Sorry, it's not always a thing to see people and be envious or jealous because they're always traveling. But either way, just check in with people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't be quick to hit like and scroll, but check in with people, see how they're doing, where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Not just on the map, but where are they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And don't just assume that because they are doing these fabulous things that they're okay. But it is, again, it's on that individual to share, too, like to ask for help. Not to be afraid to ask for help, and not be afraid to kind of expose themselves and give away the fact that they didn't have a fabulous time, that they actually suffered on that fabulous trip. They got some great shots out of it, some great shots for the gram, but they also went back to their hotel and cried. You know, like, we got to be more honest and real about that side of things. And I have to say, there is no right or wrong with any of this. Like I said, I don't take back a single trip that I've ever taken. I learned so much about myself, and that's why I say traveling can reveal and heal you in a certain way, because it does get you out of your comfort zone. It does get you out of the norm, and it forces you into situations that you normally wouldn't be in your everyday life. So it tests you. It expands you. It expands your. Hey, Jessica! I'm so excited. It expands your.
Jessica Embry from Duluth.
Duluth, what? It expands your capacity to, not capacity. It expands what you thought you knew you could handle and what you thought you could do in your normal everyday life. You're faced with the same situation.
I think my friend Veronica is on. Veronica, if you want to say hi, she's also okay, I don't know her official. Veronica, what is what is it called? Not accreditation? What is it? What do y'all call it? You know, y'all have all them letters, X, Y, Z, LP.
License? Is she LCSW, LPC? What?
Vivica, if you see this, let us know in the comments, because I know she's also in the mental health, I guess, arena. Hi, Jessica. There's no Jessica. She's but Vivica is in the mental health arena or industry. I don't know if she's still on. I
see Jessica Daniel. She's waving.
Waving back, Jessica.
Hey.
But Vivica, if you are on here, just let us know. We were talking in Sheena, you're what is it? LP.
I'm an LAPC. What are your letters, girl? I'm an LAPC, Licensed Associate Professional Counselor. I'll be an LPC by the end of this year. And thank you. Been a long journey, but yeah, working towards my LPC, Licensed Professional Counselor.
Okay. Yeah, no, because this might be something. I think she got in here late, but something to maybe come back and watch the replay to kind of. I don't know. I just think, like I said, we were talking about it. That's why I was like, let's get on here and go live and talk about it and share. Because I think I just honestly believe you're not the only person that has traveled and dealt with that.
I know I'm not.
And I'm not the only person that's watched someone and been like, oh, wow, they just living it up and doing it all. And literally kind of clueless. Or, you know, just this ignorance to the facts. So like I said, I think it's something that it's worth having a conversation about, addressing it, so that it's something that can be on the forefront. You know, at least if people never thought about it before, now they might think about it or consider it. And not to say that now when you see your friends traveling internationally, assume they got a problem.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and even if they do, like, live your life. Like, I'm not